Go ahead.
You know, it's what we want to do is allow people the opportunity to be able to go in and understand that the practitioner's job is strictly as to be there as a guide, and that no matter what system you go into, the practitioner should never be put on a pedestal to the point that...
When you say practitioner, who are you talking about?
We're talking about a high priest or Babalawo, or any other person who...
You mean like a minister?
Pastor,
minister.
Imam.
Okay, so you're saying that each individual should take the initiative upon themselves to educate themselves into the language or whatever belief system that they are pursuing.
Correct. Because the person who has received that client or that student is charged with making sure that they get on the road to developing themselves and establishing their connection with the source, because the person who's teaching should have already done that.
And you're charged to give someone proper guidance, especially if they come to you as a loyal or faithful follower. Then the job of the instructor or the teacher is to guide them to a way where they can be on their own and stand on their own.
Teach them independence.
Exactly. Let them build their autonomy. You know, that way they can seek within themselves and find within themselves the Most High, and that be their own guide.
They become their own teacher.
Exactly.
And their own leader.
Exactly.
And that's not what's being taught today. What's taught today is you do as you told and say as you told, and
follow me, and give me that money.
Well, for one thing, in traditional religious paths, it was not believed that the practitioner had the capability or the intellect to understand these strategic schools of thought. So that's why they were given overseers in various systems to teach the practitioners.
Right.
So now you're saying that mainstream people have educated themselves to the extent where they can learn to think, translate these schools of thought for themselves?
Yes, learn and learn to be able to manipulate it to the point that they become the Godhead in that particular culture and insert themselves as the source, as the one who should be worshiped or praised, and no longer do you see them as just a guide or a tool of assistance, but you actually see them as a God, as you actually see them as the source of your creation, because they become what you they become the focal point of where you think your or what you have to aspire to.
Well, mainstream religion is way off track based on what you all are saying. Because
mainstream religion, well, let me say this. What became religion was allowed to come in for a particular time, a particular age. What that became as a result of, like what the brother was saying, people manipulating it and using it and molding it into something that they could control people and enslave people. What that became that kind of tool, that age, that epoch, that eon, that day is over. That's why so many people, that's one of the reasons so many people are so far off the path right now. That's one of the reasons why we see the numbers dwindling of mainstream religion. That's one of the reasons why more and more we see in mainstream religion, you see in the paper, you know, this priest did this priest did that, this pastor did this. And I mean, I'm not going to call no names, but I know personally here in Baltimore, you know, a pastor that was exposed for doing some things, and he made his congregation fast. He didn't fast, he made his congregation fast. So that just shows you how, you know, how far off and twisted it's become. But that day is over, you know, and we're in a new age right now.
When you say over, what do you mean?
I mean that it's over according to the movement of consciousness, which we as a people have always charted the progression and evolution of consciousness through various means. One being how humanity evolves and the faculties and the traits that the collective humanity would express at a particular time. That's one way. Another way is the positioning of certain celestial bodies, which actually would come first because the positioning of those celestial bodies would make or would be the cause to the effect of the collective of humanity acting and showing different traits. So when I say that day is over, it's in the stars, it's in the positioning of the solar system, it's in the positions of the celestial bodies in those outer constellations and how they have lined up in order to produce a particular effect, in order to emanate a particular energy, and that energy is causing the practice of mainstream religion to dissipate.
Right. So you mean the truth is being told?
The truth is being manifested, yes sir. The truth
has always been out there.
Yeah. Truth is now, the frequency has been changed. So now new centers of learning are being brought forth, and new concepts of spiritual consciousness and psychology is being brought forth, and the understanding of the left brain and the right brain and quantum physics and going into the manifestation of thought is the new science and the new frequency for those who may not even be that well in tune with it, because the frequency of the universe has changed. They will align and seek that because it's truth, and there it's the principle that everyone is going to begin to look for, because they're going to want to know where I can go to get more spiritually involved. And these centers that were in existence prior, you know, to this paradigm shift will be no more.
It's like a thirst for knowledge or a hunger. And once you get on this path or start seeking to walk this path or this journey, you can't get off, because nothing else will be sufficient enough for your appetite. That thirst for knowledge, that thirst for truth, that thirst for that feeling of spirituality, where you feel it in your mind, body, and soul, and it resonates with you. And people can feel it in your vibrations, in your rhythms, and they can see your aura. It's a path that nothing else can compare with. You know, it's total bliss.
Is that the paradigm shift you're talking about?
Yes, sir. Many people out of the masses are waking up every day. Some on higher vibrations and rhythm frequencies than others, but every day. And they're leaving the religious institutions every day to seek a higher mind state, a higher power that actually resonates within themselves.
So you're talking a more clearer or crystallized truth.
Yes, it's pristine. It's without a doubt. You know, they say truth isn't good or bad. It just is, and it's always been here and always will be.
But it has reached another peak of expression of itself, you're saying?
For that individual, yes.
Okay.
Because it's always been here and always will be.
Okay.